So Persona is a makeup brand owned by Sona, and she is a beauty influencer here on YouTube. I've watched a few of her videos in the past, but I love it when influencers take the initiative to come out with something more and just kind of capitalize on their platform. So I think it's awesome. I've heard really great things about the highlighters in this collection, but I'm just reviewing this palette and wanted to show swatches. So what initially drew me to the palette were the shimmer shades. So I did do a look using this palette that is just the eyes. So I will leave that at the end of the video. If you're interested in that, you can stay tuned for that. But I wanted to swatch and then also just talk a little bit about what I found when I was using the palette. So first of all, I will say I love the color selection. Also, side note, I did get this at Ulta for $16, I believe, for the 21 Days of Beauty. So what initially drew me to it was just the color layout. I just thought it was really beautiful colors. The shimmer shades were all very striking, plus really, really pretty matte shades. What I did find when I was using it is I love the overall finished look. However, when I was blending, I felt like the shimmer shade kept blending away. Anytime I would touch it with a little bit of the matte shade, it just wouldn't stay. It would just blend immediately away. So maybe I needed a little bit more tacky of a base. I did go in and wet my finger a little bit and press the eyeshadow on, and I felt like that helped a little bit. But I mean, even so, like, I just feel like even now that I'm looking at it, like some of the look kind of faded away. So the shimmer shades, it's just like as soon as you use any of the other shades, they kind of blend away. So also, I felt like I used these two shades right here in between Charming and Maverick, and they got a little bit patchy when I was blending them. They weren't as blendable as I would like. I felt like I had to keep going in and building up. And then when I went in with this chic color, I really did like that color. But also, again, I felt like it just was like I had to keep piling a ton of product on. It would initially look pigmented, but when I would go to blend it, I felt like it just kind of blended away. That was my only thing. Now, there were a few shades I did, like I said, I used one of the shimmer shades, and then I used this Sassy shade. Super metallic, beautiful. I'm definitely going to try this with a tackier base when I'm putting on some of the shimmer shades, and also check below in the description box for how this wore. I want to let you know how it wore, because sometimes you can have troubles with it blending away, because like I said, I look at it in the mirror now and I really, really like the way that the eyeshadows look, but if they blend away, then that's going to be something that I'm going to say negatory, even though it's such a beautiful palette. So let's just go ahead and zoom in and I will swatch the shades for you. They are absolutely beautiful. So if you have picked up this palette, I'd also love to hear your thoughts on it down below. If you've used this palette, if you had the same experience, maybe it was just the eye primer that I had on. I did go in with the Benefit Stay Don't Stray eyelid primer, and I kind of put it on. I didn't really set it with powder like I typically do, so I'm thinking maybe it was that. I don't know, it just seemed like it was a little bit more work than I'm used to. Anyways, let's zoom in and check out the colors up close. So this is what the palette looks like. It has a really nice cream shade, then a shimmery shade, and then these like a shimmery, really nice light shade. I don't know why I swatched those in the wrong order, but like a really nice matte cream shade and a shimmer shade. Then we have like this golden shade and this more taupey shade right here. That's the top row. These metallic shades are so buttery and pigmented. Oh my goodness, they just are some of the most pigmented. They're very, very creamy. I really, really like the metallic shades. Next row, we have these two mattes right off the bat. Really, really beautiful. Like I said, they swatch extremely pigmented and they apply pigmented, but then they just kind of take a little bit of work to blend without getting patchy, at least in this application. And then we have the shade that's all over my lid, which is this really pretty, almost dirty golden shade, bronzy golden, and then this beautiful bronze shade. There are those four shades right there. I love this shade right here. So pretty. Okay, in the last row we have this orangey matte, this really beautiful deep dark, almost like cranberry matte, this cranberry shimmer shade, and then a deep dark chocolate brown. There are those 4 shades right there. Before we get into the look, I will just say it's nice. It comes with a mirror. It's white packaging, so I'm kind of like a messy person, but it does have a really nice design on the front. The names of the eyeshadows are printed on the back, and then the packaging for the eyeshadow just comes in a box like this, again, with the names on the back. I will say, oh, it says that the ultimate eyeshadow palette for brown eyes. Okay, well, I don't have brown eyes, but I mean, it's a beautiful palette. I love the colors. I love the arrangement of colors. I just didn't maybe have the best first experience with some of the mattes. And like I said, I felt like it blended away. Would I pay $16 again for this palette? Yes. I think I will use it, and I'm going to try a tackier base. Do I think I would pay full price for it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious if I just had an off experience. So I do want to hear what you guys think down below, but the palette is beautiful. Its swatch is beautiful. It does look pretty on the eyes. So again, check below for the update whether this wore, and if you guys are interested in the look, then keep watching. If not, make sure you subscribe before you leave, and let's just go ahead and get into the look. Okay, first I'm going to take this brown shade right here and use this as a transition color. So I'm putting that through the crease. It built up, but I felt like in my inner crease it got a little bit patchy, and I had to keep raising my eye, which I do have trouble with this on most eyeshadow palettes. And then I built it up with this a little bit more cool tone, taupey, sort of like purpley dusty shade right next to it. It did at first like apply really nicely over it, but as you can see, it got a little bit patchy, like deeper in my crease. I had to keep going back through and really working the shades together to mesh and not be patchy on top of each other. So it was just a little bit more extra effort than I took for most palettes, I will say. But I think in the end it actually worked, but I had to really keep going back and forth and blending out. Then I took the cream shade and I just kind of popped that under the brow bone, and then went in with this deeper purple shade. And again, I still had the same problem when I was layering. I noticed that when I would layer and blend, it blended away the original colors that I had kind of put down. It left them a little bit patchy, so I had to just keep going in and adding more product. So now let's go with the shimmer shades. Oh my gosh, this shade was so beautiful. So I initially patted it on with my finger, then I got my finger a little bit wet, and I'm not meaning to flick you guys off, and applied it with a wet finger. Then going back and adding the shades, as you can see, like when I would go around it, it just wouldn't stick. I had to keep going back and touching up. I noticed like it was getting, you know, it was blending it away on the outer corner there. And typically I like to do like a slow fade, which is why I went back in to just kind of like fade it. But I mean, there was no fade. It was like completely taking the product away, all of it. So I had to keep going back in and touching up the color with a wet finger, just so that I, you know, still had that color there. And then as soon as I would touch my brush to go back to like give it a slow blend, it would completely blend away. So it was really hard. I didn't know if I wasn't using like a tacky enough base. Maybe I should have put a concealer down or something right before to almost do like the cut crease type of thing to give it a smoother palette. I'm not sure, or if it's my wrinkly eyelids, I don't know, but I had a little bit of trouble with keeping it on there. So once I think I got it good enough, I just went in with a liquid liner. This one's from the brand COL-LAB, and it's just a black eyeliner. So I just kind of did a small, really close to my lash line wing with a little tiny cat eye effect, just pointed it up towards the tail of my brow. Then I'm going to go in with mascara. I'm using this one from Essence. I love this mascara. If you're looking for a affordable mascara under $5 that gives you tons of volume, this one is amazing. So I'm going to put my lashes on in my whole face. Boom. These lashes are from House of Lashes. They are the Iconic Lights. I went and put a nude liner in my waterline from NARS, and then I used that brown shade on my lower lash line, and then I'm going in, wetting my brush, and using that same shimmery bronze shade all over my lower lash line. And I really love the way that that color looked. I got it a little bit wet and just kind of blended it in, and then put mascara on my lower lashes. And now for my inner corners. This is a super duper pigmented color. I think it's called Sassy, but really, really nice and pigmented. So I put that in the inner corners and then right under the brow bone, and then kind of just blended it out a little bit under my brow bone because it was super pigmented. When I put it up under my brow bone, I was like, oh, hello. So I just kind of went in with my finger and softened the line. I really like that color. I would honestly like to do a look with that all over the lid, and which I think I will try next look. So that is the finished look. If you want to know what's on the rest of my face, I will leave it linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you all in the next video. Mwah!